This poem's called One Horse Town. It's about a little village where I was born in Scotland. Population 4,000 people, anyway, it's nowhere town. American slang, one horse town. Anyway. In afterbloom, first lights of city night shine small, yellow on a distant meadow, like dandelions dancing in the dark. Windswept, bustling shadows run for shelter, manning roundabouts and helter-skelter, on desolated playgrounds in the park. As the river wriggles through the valley on its writhing, twisted silver belly, thunder drums roll and crash along the sky, and shoals of flatfish clouds cross eye to eye. This is a world of many might-have-beens, where wondrous tales are merely man-made dreams that gain in stature as they make the rounds of fireside campfires in this one-horse town.
You can check something off.
This poem's called Film and Media. It's a recollection of when I was 15, 16-year-old, 1961. There used to be some Mecca ballrooms all over Britain where you used to go and try and get a woman, or women try and get a man, but this was the centre of places, the Mecca, and that's the Mecca I refer to in this poem. Before any fatwas get announced or ordered, it's nothing to do with Mecca, it's Mecca ballrooms. Midnight at Mecca meant long-winded queue, as one night stands dig up a last-ditch plan for getting in touch if ever they can, in cloakroom lines that furtive lovers use. Variations on the birth of the blues, as outside bruised, battered, a bus-come van feeds a painted girl and a well-oiled man, regurgitated scraps of local news. And they, like ageless heroes off the screen whose time evokes a long-forgotten theme, seem lovers, always lovers just by sight. Then in a rapid edit closing scene, I tumble out of sleep and lose the dream among the monochromic shades of night.
Okay.
This is called The Undead. It was written as a prologue for Dracula. We were doing a play called Dracula at Stirling University, and I played Renfield in it. And the girl who was printing the programmes came to me on the day they were being printed and says, "Can we get something original to put in the back of the programme, a piece of poetry?" And I said, "Yeah." I says, "Well, how long have we got?" She says, 2 hours. We'll go to print in 2 hours. So that's why it's only 8 lines. Anyway, the image I took here was of the German army retreating from Stalingrad in 1942. And I remember seeing the black and white movies of the soldiers sitting at the side of the road, frozen dead, holding their rifles, or lying dead, freezing. And I thought about Napoleon 100 years before, and Genghis Khan a whole time before that. They were both beaten by the Russian winter when they tried to conquer Russia. Napoleon, Genghis Khan, and the German army. It was a perpetual thing. A long and rutted road, built when roads began, came a shattered host of hopes and bones, another inch in mileage stones, erected by the dead for the dying, who cry they're alive. I say they're lying along a long and rutted road. This poem's called The Pterodactyl and the Greyhound, and I was going to call it A Moment in Time, but I decided The Pterodactyl and Greyhound. A black pterodactyl circles the sky, hovering over a stricken greyhound, victim of a first bend collision at Carntine all those years ago in Scotland. This also happened in Wales, but never the Houses of Parliament, because they weren't built when this happened. They held soft parades on April Fool's Day in most parts of prehistoric Britain. By law, stone quarries were closed by noon, or the cavemen took part in a sit-in. It was, however, different in Wales, and nobody knew about Africa except the Botswana branch mafia. I've got another copy.
Oh yeah, sit down.
This is called Happiness. I wrote this in 20 minutes. It was written, a teacher in a class I was in asked, wrote on the blackboard the word happiness. She said, I want you to write in 20 minutes something about happiness. So this is my 20 minutes worth. Alarm clocks that never ring wake dumbstruck nightingales in spring. Outstanding checks the postman brings, or slain Bobby Fischer's king. These and other simple things mean happiness to me. Hungry crowds outside London Zoo are eating penguins 2 by 2, all rubbery and hard to chew, like feeding politicians superglue, means happiness to me. Or dramatic Western movie scenes, where the cowboy trips and spills the beans all over Ronald Reagan's jeans, as Nancy wipes a mess and screams, your image must stay ever clean, mean happiness to me. So here's to all the silly fools who play the game and make the rules. A long-established race of mules, straight-aheads and super-cools. Fergie losing all her jewels means happiness to me. Another one. This is called The Last Balloon. I wrote this when I was doing a play, the first play I'd done, and it was at the end of the play, and they were taking all the props away. And left on the stage was this balloon. This balloon was left bouncing across the stage, and this is the last balloon. Past martyrs of the movement or current masters of the game, I have yet to meet the player who could hold on to a name longer than the time it takes to bring the curtain down on a season of salvation in some God-forsaken town. Their catharsis of confession may seem long and somewhat sad, not confessing nor confiding in a past they never had. It's easy to replace a life, never nothing but a line, transposed to be remembered in revised mnemonic rhyme. Soon the promise of the evening fades to darkest eyes of night, and joins applause and thundered exit in a flippant fantasy of flight, leaving only scattered programs under tilted barn stalls, and the sombre line of broken busts that adorn all foyer walls. Advancing now in casual haste, the killers of the dream, an army hell-bent on hands and knees to sweep the circle clean. Victory will be theirs before the setting of the moon, when vanquished props are rounded up down to the last balloon.
Okay, brilliant.